Hello. How is everybody? So I am just getting onto Facebook right now, live. So I will be on Facebook Live and YouTube. Hi, come on in, guys. I am just come on in, say hello. Live chat, all messages are visible. Say hello and say where you are from. And I will be getting started in just a moment. Let me see if I can turn my lighting up a little bit more. Where the hell's the thing? Now we're fancy. Okay. How to manifest lasting joy. Hi! Today I'm going to talk about how to manifest lasting joy. I am just down here getting on Facebook Live. How is everyone? And where is everyone from? And I just realized I'm using my default mic off of this, so hopefully the sound is okay here. Group coaching. Okay. And I'm just going to get my plug really quickly to plug my phone in because I forgot to do that. My mom is downstairs with Meadow. And she just said something about a hippopotamus, and now I have that song, that Christmas song in my head. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. Let me just plug you guys in. Hold on. Okay, we've got life there. Add a title for your live broadcast. I already did. How to manifest lasting joy. Tags. Manifest. Going live. 3, 2, 1. Hello. Okay. So I am here live. Let me make this smaller. Don't X out of it, Darienne. Okay. I have like an amazing computer, but the live video on it is like the computer, hey Gabby. So I'm on YouTube and Facebook live right now. So that's why I'm going to be looking down and looking up. But yeah, my video camera is like, here's the screen. It's like down here. Don't ask me why they did that in order to make the screen super small. I have no clue. So, who do we got on YouTube? Let me know. And actually, crazy. What are you crazying for? My computer that they did that? It's like a $3,000, it's $2,500 computer, and it's got a 4K screen. It's freaking amazing. It has like a graphics card in it. It's so fast. Like I render videos like that, but the camera is down there, which makes no sense. But here we are. I've got my selenite wand. How is life? Could somebody do me a favor on Facebook? Could somebody hop over to YouTube and make sure that my live video is working? Because nobody has commented yet. Am I just not seeing the comments? I'm not really sure if that's the situation. Or, oh, that I'm on YouTube and Facebook Live at the same time. I am, okay. Yeah, so you guys on YouTube, thank you, Jerry. And of course, you guys, you can choose to watch me wherever you want to watch me. I'm just on both right now. Oh, you know what? I didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb. hold on, I should probably do that. That's probably super important. Do not disturb. Okay. Oh, Gabby, hi. Oh, it says I have a very bad connection. Now it's back. Okay. It's working. Heather, hello. So, I don't know how to say your name. Is it Fatime? Working. Rachel, hi. Hi, David. Matt, hello. Hey. Over on YouTube, let me know. Oh, look, my mom's on. My mom's downstairs. Over on YouTube. Hey, Neil. On YouTube, let us know where you're from, what part of the globe you are in. Jerry, Darienne, when I went onto YouTube homepage, your page was the first that popped up. Good to know. Last time I did a YouTube live, which was like 2 weeks ago, it didn't work. I don't know why. It just didn't work. You prefer Facebook because sometimes YouTube comments take forever. Really? Neil, Nashville, you know, hey. Yeah, whatever. I am on, for the people that are watching on YouTube right now, I am also on Facebook. I am going to be talking about how to manifest lasting joy today. Hey, Jerry's on YouTube now. Yeah, whatever you guys prefer. Some people that have YouTubes don't have Facebook. There's a lot of people that actually don't have Facebook. Especially like my teens don't have Facebook. Like no teens care about Facebook. They don't. And you know what? I don't blame them because Facebook is becoming a breeding ground for bitching. Comments on YouTube are good to, oh, they're good. You know what? It may be because sometimes I have a lot of people on my YouTube at one time. I think the most that I get on Facebook at one time is probably like 15 people. YouTube, I feel like we get a little bit more people than that. Could be why. It could be just because there's more Facebook's lives. It's like a bigger thing than YouTube live. Okay, so once you guys tell me where you're from, I want to know, because you the queen. Thank you. I want to know, let's ask a good question. What are you trying to manifest in your life right now? I don't care if it's merhaba. Oh, where is that? I don't care if it is a physical thing or Joel, hello. I don't care if it's a physical thing, if it is a state of being, a state of mind. I don't care what it is. What right now? Florida, cool. Hi, Timothy. What right now are you trying, wanting to, calling in, manifesting in your life? Let's hear it. Freedom. Freedom. A specific score on my LSAT. So Gabby is, what is the, like, what do you, how do you say it? Like you're testing to pass the bar? Is that what it is? Or is that is it a specific thing? Jerry, contentment. I love that. New Zealand. Did I see New Zealand? See, this is why I love Pam. This is why I love being on YouTube, because on YouTube, we do get a lot of people from more global folks. Your soulmate. Okay. Good. I love it. Contentment, freedom, soulmate. Beautiful. I'm going to tell you guys a story about law school admissions test. Okay, so this gets you into law school. Beautiful. Okay, self-love and acceptance. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I want to tell you guys a story that seems like YouTube is streaming quicker. I went back to Facebook and it was behind. Just interesting. Facebook always seems to be behind for me. So I don't know. Timothy, satisfaction. Oh, you're from Florida also. Okay. Good. Okay. So let me tell you a little story about when I first read The Secret. When I first started reading The Secret, It was a long, long time ago when I was 21. I'm almost 33 now. This is a little ways ago. Health and love. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I got The Secret when I was 21 years old, which was a little while ago, over a decade now. And at the time, I was working at a bank as a service transaction specialist. Basically, I was a service banker who also helped on the teller line every once in a while because I was a teller, and I went from being a teller to a service transaction specialist, okay? This might have been actually when I was 20, right before I hit 21, I think. And I started reading The Secret, and I started learning about the law of attraction, and I realized that I had been using these systems already. Like I was a competitive dancer for a few years in my life. I always got hundreds on my tests at school, even if I didn't study for things, because I knew that I was using these law of attraction techniques. I knew how to focus on something. I knew how to choose that I was going to get something no matter what. Like I knew how to be like, this is it, and just have that like tunnel vision and just set it in my mind that this is what's going to happen no matter what. You want your niece and nephew to buy you a house? Okay. All right. So let me just see that last comment. Okay. I already read that. So, where the hell was I? So I knew I knew that I had already been using these concepts of the law of attraction. And so I knew that they were real, right? I didn't need to be convinced of the fact that, that this was real because I knew I'd been using it. I have trophies right now in my closet to prove that before I even knew about the law of attraction, I knew how to use this because I knew what it felt like. It was just sort of repeating back to me all the stuff I already knew. And of course, this was before I was spiritual or any form of religious. I had grown up in sort of some religion. You know, we did go to church when I was very young. We had a kind of a different church. It was all love. I never had really a bad experience of religion. My only bad experience was other people telling me about like their idea of religion, right? I never had a negative experience from religion firsthand. But I did have a lot of other people telling me, oh, you're going to go to hell if you do this, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I wasn't even there yet. I was just at, like, reading The Secret, right? Wanted to have everything. Of course, I was very well aware of Oprah, and everybody listened to Oprah, and Oprah was talking about The Secret, so I found out about The Secret. And so when I started to read it, and even before I was reading it and I knew that I was using these techniques and I was like, okay, I'm going to get what I want. One of the things that I made up in my mind that I wanted was this position at the bank that I worked at as a financial specialist. Okay. So I had no high school diploma, no GED. Yep, Oprah is how I got into Eckhart Tolle as well. Yes, me too. Love Eckhart Tolle. Love The Power of Now. That was like one of the most powerful books I've ever read. I talk about that all the time. So I started to use these techniques to get this job as a financial specialist, right? So at the time, this was before the recession, the financial specialist position, it was like $53,000 a year plus bonuses. So I made a couple $1,000s in bonuses every month. And at 20, I think actually, no, 21 when I got the position. At 21, I'm like going to work in full suits. I got my name outside of my office. I am importante. I got the money rolling in. I mean, I lived in an apartment that was only like $650 a month. And so I was living well beneath my means. And I had a whole bunch of money. Like at that time, I was just like, I had money. And I got it. I got the thing that I wanted to get. I put my mind to it. Back then I was so insanely determined because back then I was really insanely determined to prove everybody wrong. And that gave me my determination, which I'm going to tell you right now is not the best kind of determination you want to have, but we will get into that later. Hence the whole lesson of my story. But being that I was a single, was I single? Yeah. Being that I was a single teen mom, I was a mom by the time I was 19 years old. I had a baby right after I turned 19. And I really was determined, only about 30 seconds from posting in New Zealand, you acknowledging it, Darienne, amazing. Oh, yeah. So, you know, I was really, really, really determined to prove the world wrong. And so that energy of determination, whether it came from a negative thing or a positive thing, didn't really matter. That energy of determination caused me to be able to create the thing that I wanted in my life, right? Yeah, not the best determination. Exactly. Like I was determined to prove the world wrong, which was still determination. Let's just make that really clear. It still manifested the thing that I wanted. Whatever the reason was, it didn't matter. I still was able to manifest the thing that I wanted. So I had the high paying job, 21 years old, just turned 21. I had beautiful long hair. I was a beautiful girl. I was newly single. Oh, I was gonna live it up. I was determined also to live out my youth, even though I had a child, because I didn't have her on the weekends. Her dad took her on the weekends and I had her every day of the week. So I even named my alter ego Catherine. She was like the regal one that like went in and she did the job and she taught people about money. So crazy. I really went in and acted like I knew what the fuck I was talking about because I genuinely did not. Genuinely did not know what the fuck I was talking about. And let's just be clear. When you train, let me just move this over because I feel like here we go. When you train in any bit of sales, right? They basically teach you how to bullshit. That's what they do. So I got really good. I mean, I was already really good at bullshitting, which really is not making me look good right now, but I'm totally admitting it. Ego shit. So I got really good at knowing how to bullshit my way through things because, I mean, I was a loan officer. I'm getting people to sign 64-page documents with black pen only, and I have never read this document a day in my life. I don't even know what the fuck is on this document. I just read the parts that they have to go through, and I encourage them, you got 3 days to read over this thing and change your mind, but don't do that. You don't want to do that anyway, you know. So I got, Rachel's over here laughing. So push come to shove, I got the job, right? I got the job. I got the people thought that I was the manager of the bank. And when you go into the bank and you're in the back office with your name on the thing, and I secretly ordered my own nameplate because I wanted 2 of them. I would just go in and order a bunch of shit on my old boss. I got in really good with the old boss and she gave me the ability to order whatever the hell I wanted. So it was cake work there. Like if there was ever the best corporate job you could have, it was the one that I had created for myself. I was best friends with my boss. She was wild AF. We were wild AF together and she ran the bank. And so she also helped and encouraged me to go get this job. And I got it, push come to shove, right? Now I think I've made it. I'm 21 years old. I have no high school diploma. I don't even have a GED, guys. I don't even have a GED. And yet I am here. The people at the bank with their hundreds of thousands, some of them had millions, some of them had only a couple $100s, but with all of their money, their life's work in the bank, they're coming to me thinking like little 21-year-old Darienne who has no clue what she's doing, but is really good at acting like she does. They're coming to me like I'm somebody important and I'm totally owning it. Like I'm working it. I'm working. Thank you, Jay-Z. So I'm working it. I'm working the system, right? I'm just working it. So the whole point of this is that I thought it would make me happy. Like I made it. You know what I'm saying? Like the very thing that everybody wants. The corporate job, making the money. I'm beautiful. I'm 21. I'm living large. I got this, my name's on a plate on the front of the office. People think I'm important. I have made it, right? I had $30,000 saved up in the bank. I got a 401k. I am boss fucking lady. 21 years old, no high school diploma. I have totally figured life out, okay? I totally figured it out. And then here's what happened. I was miserable. I was okay, I still loved my life. I had the ability to shop whenever I wanted. I had the ability, and I was so responsible with my money. I wasn't terrible with it. It was nothing like that. I wasn't like this irresponsible, like 20 to 21-year-old. I was out drinking all the effing time, every weekend. But were you as beautiful then? Oh, thank you. But, you know, drinking every weekend because I was 21. What do 21-year-olds do anyway? I didn't have my kid on those weekends, but I was severely fucking miserable. And the hard lesson that I had to learn being stuck in this misery, because my life was really taken away. Like, I was in a really, like, it's so funny because there's jokes that go around in the banking world that, like, it's basically like hell. Like, you live in hell. You know what I mean? And it kind of is like that. Like, you have people breathing down your neck, like your job's always on the line. You have to force people into loans. It's not a beautiful, heart-centered place to work. Unfortunately, for some reason, we've created this like evil around money in the world, and it's just not a beautiful place to work. I love people, and so I should have probably been in more of a managerial position, which is what I wanted to do because I genuinely love people. It was so out of alignment with me, but it was a beautiful lesson. Let's just, like, don't, you know, miss that. But I learned a really tough lesson. And it was that I quickly, at a young age, got the dream job. I quickly, at a young age, got the money. I got the thing that everybody was chasing. I had the financial freedom to do whatever the fuck I wanted. Sounds... Sorry, guys. I got kicked off. Okay. But yeah, so, you know, everybody reads The Secret, and what do they want? Obviously, they want the soulmate. They want all that stuff. But... And I've manifested a soulmate as well, but I got the materialistic thing that everybody thinks that they want, right? It's totally like, I feel like there's this cookie cutter idea of desires, right? Everybody wants all the money. They want the financial freedom. They want to have the dream job. They want to be able to, you know, I had 30 grand to put down on a house. You know, they want all, that's a big chunk of the things that they want, right? I had it. And then I fell into another depression, a depressive episode that lasted a couple years, really. And the hard lesson was that manifesting is fucking easy. Like, it really is. You can manifest anything you want. You decide it and you put a bit of determination behind it, and you can fucking get anything you want. The hard part in this world, and it's not really the hard part, but when you have grown up in a world where you've been taught to deny yourself, the hard part is finding what truly, deeply in your soul it is that you desire. Manifesting is fucking easy. Are you guys with me on Facebook? Because I am not getting any comments. Are you with me? I'm gonna write hello. Sometimes Facebook does that. It's like get it together. I just wrote hello. Yes. Okay. You guys still with me on YouTube? So that was a tough lesson for me, but it was such a beautiful one. It was so beautiful to be able to realize you're here just listening. Okay, good. Good. You're all here. Yeah, sometimes Facebook doesn't show me comments. I don't know. So what I realized, we're here. Good, Tania. Hi. Yeah, the hard part was not manifesting. It really, like, manifesting is the simplest thing in the world. It really is. You've lost me on YouTube and now you're here. And Facebook crashed too. Oh no. Well, I'm back on YouTube. I did get kicked off, but I'm back. I'm cutting off and on YouTube. Yeah, well, wherever I'm not working, go to the other and say a little prayer. Let's ask the angels to make our connection very clear and concise and set the intention for that so that we can all be here to hear this message. Okay, so what I realized, and of course I had to really crash and burn. There was a lot of crashing and burning and falling. And of course I spent all of my money because I manifested a beautiful man that I was going to marry at 22 years old, and I moved halfway across the country to Texas, and then I had to get a new job, and I was doing business to business sales, and then my car got stolen, and then I didn't work anymore, and I just lived off of that 30 grand for the rest of the year, and my apartment was $1,000 a month, so it quickly depleted. And then I picked up, of course, I had an alcohol problem, so that it just really snowballed into a lot of craziness. And I ended up coming back home to Philadelphia, I was homeless for a little bit, living out of my car, couch surfing, eventually ended up at the home that I grew up in the ghetto. My dad still lives there. Don't even ask me why. It's just how my dad is. Even though he owns the house that I live in, which is in a much nicer neighborhood, don't even ask me. But with my tail between my legs, severely fucking depressed. So it's like, I'm not just like, oh, I learned my lesson because I was like, oh, this doesn't make me happy. I didn't realize how severely unhappy I was until I crashed and fucking burned and was wanting to die on my bathroom floor of the home that I grew up in, begging God to take me, before I realized that I had been on this bathroom floor 11 years earlier for the past 11 years. Now I'm 24 years old. I'm looking back. Since I was 14 years old, I've been on the bathroom floor begging for God to take me. What the fuck have I been doing with my life? That's what I thought. I've literally wasted my life being depressed. And when I started to manifest things, when I started to really do this with determination, because I was so determined to prove the world wrong, I was trying to prove my fucking worth. I was trying to prove my worth. I was trying to prove that I was worthy, and God forbid I wasn't. God forbid that I didn't have the amazing job and the beautiful long hair and the big boobs and the body and the, sexual energy and the money that I wanted and the power. God forbid I didn't have all of that stuff, because then I would have been found out that I'm not worthy. And that just gets you right here, doesn't it? So I manifested from this place of unworthiness, really. And I was so fucking determined to prove to the world that I was worthy, because of course I had this perfectionism thing. And I was totally manifesting from the space of, you could totally relate, Heather. Yeah. I was totally manifesting from the space of I'm not worthy, but I'm so determined to prove to the world that I am, because I can't live without the love of the world. Because essentially we can't live without love. But we don't, we have love. Love is here. We are love. We come from love. We were born out of love. The fact that we even have a sense of love in our mind means that we came from love. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's the ego that tells us this crazy story that we're not loved or we're somehow not worthy. And so we have to prove ourselves to ourselves and to the rest of the world that we are. And it's this facade we put up to the world. So it's oh, I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to manifest my car, because then all the world's going to know that I am I'm worth something, right? I'm going to manifest the money, because then the world's going to know that I'm worth something. Or I'm going to manifest the man, because then that'll prove, if this person loves me, then I'm loved. I'm lovable, right? You did do some tremendous good during that time. Your daughter. I did a lot of good during that. Well, I was kind of a mean girl. I'm not going to lie. I was definitely a mean girl. I mean, I was 21, but I was the epitome of a mean girl. But yeah, of course, I created my daughter before all that, actually, before any of that. I was actually in a good space when I created my daughter, but I went a little crazy when I turned 21. I was very determined to live out my youth, and not have any regrets. And I don't. I lived about as crazy as I could and as reckless as I possibly could. And I did it all on purpose. I really did. I intentionally was I don't want to look back on this time in my life and regret anything. And so, and I knew that I was diving into a lot of lessons. Like, I was a risk taker back then. I didn't really care about, not that I didn't care about my feelings, but I was so willing to get hurt. Like, I was so willing. It's kind of the beauty of being young. It's like, I was so freaking willing to get hurt. I was just so willing. And I loved it. I was all about it back then. But it made me learn a really, really, really valuable lesson. And that was, know who you are, Darienne. Know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you're not going to know what you want. And if you're just going around manifesting a bunch of shit, which is what we're always doing all the time, we're constantly manifesting everything. Look around you right now, your life, you manifested it. You manifested it. But for me, I was like, I need to take a big ass step back and never let this happen again. Because I was in hell. And I never wanted to end up on that bathroom floor again. And so I needed to find the love in me. You were still a good friend. Thanks, Matt. Matt, we had good times. Although, again, Matt, I was friends with you. Matt, we used to live in the same apartment complex. He used to live across from me. When I was a teenager, though, I feel like I was even more wild back then. I just didn't know it when I was like 14. But severely depressed at that point, which kind of a thing that happens to a lot of teenagers, but you know. So just a really valuable lesson. This is what catapulted me into a life of spirituality, because I needed to wake the fuck up. I needed to wake the fuck up. I needed to find what my soul had been calling out to me, because I knew that I wasn't listening to it. Like, I knew I was in so much pain. I knew that I went in such a wrong direction that I was like, okay, I know I'm not listening. I know my soul is telling me something else. I know that there's some part of me that is like, what the fuck are you doing? I knew that. I knew I wasn't listening to my soul because I wasn't fucking happy. Because no matter how much money I had, no matter how many friends I had, how many guys I could get, no matter any of that, I was still fucking depressed. And it's like we walk around thinking like, why am I depressed? Why am I depressed? You're not listening to your soul. That's why you're fucking depressed. You're not doing the things that you want to be doing. So here's another thing, is like all these things that we try to manifest, there are so many things in our lives that we're trying to call into our lives, that we're trying to bring into our lives, that we're trying to manifest. So many things that we think we want just because society has told us to want them. So essentially, I manifested a dream, but it was somebody else's dream. So right on, Candace. Yeah. I manifested a dream, but it was somebody else's fucking dream. And so this is one of the catalysts for my YouTube channel. Yes, so true. Yeah. So this is one of the catalysts, that whole story. And of course, a lot of you know that it goes even deeper than that. It gets really fucking dark. My story gets real fucking dark. But it also gets really light and really beautiful. Of course, when I started following my soul, when I started listening to my fucking self, when I started finding the core of who I really am, when I started to realize that I come from love and that that's really the truth of me, and what is my soul's imprint, right? Like, what was my soul's intention when I came to this fucking earth? A lot of times it's like the most obvious thing in the world and we're just not doing it. But sometimes it's like we've gotten so far we've learned so much to not listen to ourselves, to really abandon ourselves, to self-segregate, which is something I keep saying over and over, this concept of self-segregating, just separating from ourselves. We've become so imprinted, that's become so embedded and imprinted in us that we don't even understand. Like, how many of you right now don't know the difference between the voice of your intuition and the voice of like everybody else in your head? How many of you? Can you give me like an emoji, like a hands up emoji? How many of you don't know the difference between your intuition, the voice of your intuition, the voice of your soul? Hi, Julie. Me, yeah. How many of you? I mean, that was me. I was like, okay, like there's so many voices in my head, and some of them are telling me to do this and go that way, and another one's saying don't do that, don't do this, and like everybody's telling me that my intuition is the silence within me. So if I meditate, I'm also not hearing a voice. Or is that another voice? Like, I was so just like, you second guess yourself, right? I get all my internal voices confused, right? Like, we've been so conditioned to not follow our intuition that we don't even know what the fuck we want. And then we dive into, that was me before watching your videos and learning the lessons you teach. Beautiful. I'm getting better at it. That's amazing. Sometimes I'm right on. Well, the thing is, your intuition is always right on. But when you don't practice listening to the intuition or knowing the voice of your soul, if you don't actually know what that voice sounds like or which one it is, you're going to end up walking into manifesting, focusing on manifesting things that you didn't actually want to begin with. So this, as I said, really is one of the catalysts for why I began my YouTube channel. And when I talk about the law of attraction and manifesting, I cannot stress to you guys enough how important it is. Manifesting is easy. The hard part is figuring out what the fuck you really want. And here's the thing though, it's not about digging for things. You really have already experienced enough contrast in your life to know what it is you want now. You've already experienced enough contrast. It's not like you have to go through more contrast. It's not like you have to have more fucked up shit happen to you. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you have to do that. There already is a version of you, the soul version of you, that is living your truth. There is a soul version of you that is living the life that is the deepest, most core desire, and your soul is living it, right? Abe Hicks might call that the vortex. I've been calling it just the realm of truth, really. There is a realm. Hold on, I got a comment here. There is a realm. Please tell me. People tell me all the time, just now learning, that your intuition is always right. Yeah. So there's this realm of truth, as I would call it, that I've been telling you guys on Facebook. I'm not sure. Yeah, I said this on my last video. Hi, Larry. I said this on my last YouTube video about how I had this whole like psychic awakening, right? And so I have this insane awareness, not insane, it's completely normal. It's listening to my intuition has led me to a deeper, heightened psychic awareness where I'm like legit psychic. I am seeing visions, and they are the most correct visions ever. I can see people. I can see the people's faces. I can describe them before I even know what they look like. It's what I've been doing. It's awesome. I love it. It's amazing. But it's given me this awareness of this realm of truth. Now, this is how my psychic abilities have been working, right? I have the ability to see you, others, myself, in the realm of truth, the realm of love, the realm of heaven on earth. Very clear for me to point out that it is not just heaven, the non-physical. It is non-physical, but it's the version of how your soul is living, could potentially be living right here, right now on planet Earth in this very moment. I don't know what you're saying. I have aphantasia. Will that delay in my development? What is that? I'm just beginning to realize how often I don't recognize my intuition, and I'm 65 years old, LOL. Listen, right now, you're not 65 years old, you're eternal. So like, your intuition is in the now. You are eternally in the now. So, you know, don't even worry about age. We're all ageless, okay? You are not 65. Your body may have been here on this planet in this made up matrix realm. If we get real deep, for 65 perceived years, but you are eternal. We are all eternally in the now. That's just what it is. But anyway, so there is a picture that I get, and it is the soul version of you right here, right now. It's basically what your soul is living right here, right now. But you are so busy in this fucked up story about yourself. I agree. I'm ageless. I hope. You hope. You are. Everyone is. So we're living like these little ego stories. We've created these little dark stories, and our stories are all woven into other people's stories, and it's just so fucked up. But it's keeping us from being able to see the truth that our soul is already vibrationally living. And if we would just allow our source within us to vibrationally live what it is living, it would manifest physically. It would just naturally manifest physically. So it's a beautiful thing that I have been realizing and recognizing. Does that resonate with you guys? Is it something that feels cool to hear? That like your soul already is living everything you've ever wanted. You've experienced enough contrast in your life. You don't even need to figure out what you want. Your soul is already living it. You already know it. You just need to get into alignment with your soul, which happens when you stop telling yourself the stories of the ego, the bullshit ass stories that your ego is telling, right? It's like your ego's created this whole book of life, and it's really just a book of nightmares, but it's all fake. None of it's real. Okay? Does that resonate? Are we getting any ahas? Do we feel clear? So the whole point of how to manifest lasting joy is not to just manifest. I mean, you can manifest. I'm telling you guys, like, I hope that you already have. Have you guys experienced manifesting things to the point where you know, sorry, video broke up. I have antiphasia. I don't know what that is. Could you explain that? But have you guys been able to manifest things in your life to the point where you're like, yeah, I think this is real, and like I can do this? Manifesting is the easiest fucking thing in the world, honestly. And I'll tell you why, is because you have the ability to get out of your shit at any moment, right? And aphantasia is what it's called, right? Aphantasia. Will that stunt my development? I don't know what that is. You keep saying that. I don't know what that is, hun. I've heard it before, but I don't know what it is. And here's the thing. Nothing can stunt your intuition. The intuition is always coming through. It's always real. It's because you are, yes, you cannot see in your conscious mind's eye. I don't know. They're all trying to say it. I don't know what it is. I feel like my life is really chaotic, so I'm feeling pretty confused, to be honest. Okay. So you're feeling confused because you're hearing this from the ego, right? A falling in love experience turned into a rising up in love experience for me. Beautiful. So you could emanate with love. You can think about what love feels like. Your videos have helped me so much. Oh, good. Good, David. Yeah. So, okay, quickly, here's how to manifest. I'm going to tell you right now. How to manifest. Heather, you know, I gave this formula. I've given the formula in that crazy video where my hair was I was like all wacky in like the weirdest mood ever. And it was a couple years back, and I was like, it's fucking magic, because it is. It's fucking magic, but it's also just like magic is real. Like now I'm at the point where like, yeah, of course it's magic, because magic is real, because I create everything, because everything comes from me. I create it. I am the movie projector projecting the movie. It's all about me and my vibration. So I could easily say, I mean, I've been like at the gym and seen somebody not smiling, and I was like, okay, I want to see that girl smile. I want to see her smile because she looks sad. And I've seen them smile. I've gotten parking spots. I've gotten money. I've gotten huge scholarships to thousands of dollars worth of programs. I mean, everything. I'm manifesting all day long. I'm constantly manifesting. So really, essentially, it's like, here's how to manifest. I'm going to just say it right now. You realize in the moment that that's something that you don't want is happening, right? When you realize in the moment that something that you don't want is happening, you realize, oh, I don't want this. I don't want this thing that's happening. Maybe there's traffic, right? There's traffic on the road. You're like, oh, no, I don't want traffic. Okay. What do I want? Because obviously whatever you were feeling was creating the traffic, right? And then you go, what do I want? Okay. Well, I would like the traffic to speed up. I would like to feel that. You start to feel into that, right? You feel it, believe it, decide it, right? So you realize what you don't want. That's the first step. You realize what you do want. I want the traffic to be moving better. Then you realize, and of course, I'm just using traffic. You could use this as anything in your life. Then you feel it, believe it, and decide it. You feel what it feels like for the traffic to be flowing. For me to be, oh, I'm getting there, easy. Oh, I feel like this is good. I feel free. I feel the flow. You believe it and decide it. It's going to happen. Then you let it go. You go about your business and you do something that just makes you happy, or you don't even think about it. And then all of a sudden it just picks up, right? Heather, it's hard when I'm living in a lot of contrast, and sometimes it's hard for me to take a step back and see it from a place from my soul and love, but I am getting better at it. Okay, so here's a really good tip for when you're currently living in, it made me realize love is a tangible spirituality. Interesting, yeah. Definitely something that you can manifest. Like love is something you can manifest. Isn't that interesting? Same with lasting joy, right? So here would be my first step if you are in contrast. Now, for those of you that don't understand what contrast is, that's just a term that Abraham Hicks uses. It's basically just the shit that you don't want happening is happening in your life right now, right? First thing you want to do is probably, to the extent of your control, get out of as much of the contrast as you possibly can. Because the fact that you're in the contrast means that you're not in a space that your soul wants you to be in. And really, it means that you're not looking at anything from the space of, from the eyes of source. That's really what that means. You're not looking at things from the eyes of source, so you're experiencing pain. And because you're experiencing that pain, you are manifesting what you don't want, right? When you meditate every day and you tune into, you quiet your mind and you tune into who you really are, you can't daydream, see only black, gray, and white, only dream asleep, awake, awake, closed eye, just those colors I said earlier. So, okay, so you can only see, it doesn't matter what you see, it matters what you feel. So if it doesn't affect the way you feel, like visualization is only, the purpose of visualization in, when you're trying to manifest something, the only purpose for visualization is to, for it to spark up the feeling. It's the feeling that's calling it forth in you. It's the vibration, that feeling, that's what I mean by vibration. When we say what you're vibrating at, it's the feeling that you're feeling. So you could wake up and say, I feel joy. If you want to feel lasting joy, what does joy feel like? What does joy look like? You can just feel the feeling. Everybody just see if you can feel the feelings of joy. That's strong. Are people afraid to find the intuitive connection? That's a good question. Are people afraid to find the intuitive connection? I think the ego is afraid to find the intuitive connection because it means the death of the ego. So yeah, there's some part of us that could fear that. But yeah, if you could feel the feelings of joy, if you just wake up and feel the feelings of joy every day, you would start to manifest joy, right? If you guys are if anybody's here that's in my membership, I think we got a couple of my members here. This month, the month of May, we did like a joy manifesto thing where I gave 5 days worth of little exercises to do where you just vibrate with the energy of joy and then see what you manifest. Just being super general. Like you're not like, I want to get this very specific thing. It's just, I just want joy. I just want joy, and then see what pops up. So, but really like, you know, when it comes to getting out of the contrast or being able to find yourself, I would say that's a good place to start, is like getting out of as much of the contrast. So what I mean by that is if you're in like a really unhealthy relationship, try not to spend, got that today, yay, woo. Try not to spend too much time with that person. Try not to spend too much energy with that. If there's any energy that you're feeding into something that's making you feel bad, try not to feed that energy into that thing and try to feed it into something that feels better. Okay? And meditate every day. I mean, that's like, if you guys aren't meditating every day, I don't even want to talk to you. And I don't mean I don't want to talk to you, but I mean, don't even bother asking me questions, because the source within you has the answer. And if you just go meditate, you'll probably get it. I would love to be here and help you along, but honestly, meditation, meditation, meditation. And it doesn't mean beat yourself up, make sure you're doing it perfectly, make sure you do a 40-day practice. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means be quiet and focus on something that's easy to focus on. Maybe your breath, maybe the energy that runs through your body. Start off 5 minutes a day, then the next week do 10 minutes a day, then the next week and get up to like 20 to 30 minutes a day. And I'm telling you, you will probably start to do what I'm doing. You'll feel so inspired that you'll fucking create an entire business out of telling people all the things that you get in your meditations. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what, transcendental meditation, manifesting love is impossible over or imparting to manifest love. I don't know exactly what you mean there. I'm still meditating and listening to jazz. That's good. Yeah. So do you guys meditate? Let's ask that question first. Now, the point of meditation, people always ask me this question, like, you know, is it, well, does it count if I just like do something to relax? That does count if that makes you feel good. If you're in a negative marriage and financially crippled, how do you not spend time with that person? You live with them and it's freaking draining. Well, so if you're in a negative marriage, I would definitely question why you're still in it. Is it because you're financially crippled? Do you just feel stuck? But also, there are totally ways. I've been in some troubled relationships, and there are totally ways to avoid negative confrontation with people that you're in a relationship with without, like, you know, there's a difference between going to bed and very dramatically laying on the one side of the bed and not being anywhere near them and just letting them know that you're mad at them. There's a difference between doing that and like not speaking to them and being mute. And just, there's a difference between that and just totally just acting like everything's cool all the time. Hey, what's up? Like you're just being neutral about things, like not trying to create this drama. And there's a way to do that. And when you do that, you don't really have to face a lot of the negativity. Now, of course, I wouldn't advise people stay in a negative relationship. Of course, there is a spiritual lesson there. Of course, there's something emanating within you. A lot of times it's difficult to stay in a relationship with somebody that just has like fucking negative energy all the time and they're not doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Like I ended it with my last relationship it was a very negative relationship. It was just, we're going to put it that way. It was a very toxic relationship overall. We've been apart for almost a year now, and I'm just now starting to feel like clear. I just feel clear, and I'm like, what was I doing? Like, what was I doing all that time? I didn't even know who I was. I couldn't even think. I couldn't even see. Like, it was a miracle that I was even still running my channel and my business, and like, oh my God. But like, it's like you have their thoughts all stuck in your head. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so here's the thing for those of you, Tania's laughing because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, yes, yes. Also, I do just want to point out, today I was mentioning to someone that asked me a question about being in relationships with negative people. And I started to talk about, you know, a lot of times when you're an empath, you can manifest narcissists. We know this. It's like an ongoing thing. It's a whole big thing, the narcissist and the empath. So I want you to realize that fear, insecurity, and guilt, and all the things that go with that, are a breeding ground for people who may have a version of themselves that could be seen as a narcissist. I'm not one to call somebody a straight up narcissist. People aren't black and white like that. I'm just going to say that. There are people that have narcissistic tendencies that a doctor may call them a straight up narcissist. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to say anything. But when you emanate with fear, I take them in small doses. Yeah, don't we all? But when you emanate with fear, in guilt, in insecurities, in any of that kind of energy, you become a breeding ground for the narcissist to come out of those people, right? I'd accept, admit, roster. Yeah, so you become a breeding ground for those. So it's really, you want to check yourself, but especially if you're an empath, Susan, if you are an empath and you're in a relationship with someone that is a little lower vibe, doesn't really clean up their vibrations very much, especially if you've got guilt for like why you're with them and all that kind of stuff, you can't even hear yourself. Like, you don't even know what you're thinking. You don't know your truth. You like, a lot of times I'm telling you guys, if you're empaths and you're in a really negative situation that you are faced with every single day, of course you have to heal the thing in you that keeps bringing you back to that negative situation. Been there, done that, guys. I can't even begin to tell you. But you also have to realize that, like, there are some fucking chords that happen that, in a sense, they're extremely divine, but it really teaches you to take on your own power. But, okay, let's just make this very clear. One of the biggest lessons I learned from being in a 4-year toxic fucking relationship you can't tell the difference. You're right. You can't tell the difference between yourself and them. But one of the greatest lessons I learned, staying in the relationship because I thought it was like this spiritual lesson for me and I really needed to learn how to emanate with some, what I learned was never to fucking do that again. What I learned, thinking that this was going to be like the big spiritual lesson that I learned being with somebody that was so negative, was it wasn't fucking worth sacrificing my well-being to stay with. Now, nothing against him. I'm not able to look at him and feel a sense of joy. I'm just not. And I wasn't then. It's getting better now. But like, I'm not with him. Do you know what I'm saying? Me too, Candace. Yeah. Yeah. So of course I send all of you love. I get it. Like, I was in a 4-year relationship, head over heels in love. There is still a cord there, but I've stepped into my power. I've stepped into my power. I know my power. There is a course that I do. It's called How to Rock It as an Empath. It's going to be coming back out in the fall. I'm super effing excited. I actually think I'm going to start launching like early bird stuff maybe in September, but the actual course doesn't actually open until January, but I start selling it around November usually. So maybe like September, October is when you'll start hearing the word about that. I believe if you go to DarienneEmpire.com/rockinempath, it's /rockinempath, then you can get on a waiting list if you really want to know about that. And Tania was in it, so that's why she's giving me hearts. Yeah. Her course works. the free one even do? What's the free one? Oh, I do have a lot of, well, you know, I got all these things. Okay, so speaking of courses, if you guys have not heard, I am doing a group coaching. Amazing, Tania. Yeah, and actually I'm going to be adding more material to that this year, so it's going to be even more amazing. And so the people that took it last year are going to be able to get the new material. And when you sign up for the course, you get lifetime access. So you get all the new material. Like anytime, you know, I get out of my 4-year crazy toxic relationship and I have all these new things to talk about, and then all that material is going to be in there. So I did just launch, not just, last week, I launched group coaching called Manifest from Your Soul. It is so worth it, Heather. Yes. So it is a 6-week group coaching program that I developed for everything that I just talked about. The fact that I knew how to manifest, I learned how to manifest, but I was not manifesting what I desired. And it took some real soul searching for me to actually discover what I truly wanted, what was truly in alignment for me, so that I could always, every day, be on the path of my soul, be in the realm of truth, right? Yes, I want to try this time. Yeah. So the whole purpose of Manifest from Your Soul for you guys, it's a deep dive, intensive, kind of like boot camp style, intense. I'm going to be giving you homework every day to work on, to transform what's going on in your life, figure out what the fuck's not working in your life, why you're manifesting it, where you're operating from the ego. I'm going to give you all the tools I use to clear all the bullshit negative beliefs. And once the first 3 weeks is us just clearing out the clutter in order to see what we really desire. Like really even tap into that. So the first 3 weeks is all about just diving, just peeling back the fucking layers, clearing out the people who are in our minds, all the things that we think are wrong, like just diving into why we don't have the things we want. You know, are there parts of us that are trying, maybe is it the ego that wants this, or is it the soul that wants this? Just diving through all that. And then the last 3 weeks is all about fueling the fucking dreams, the high dreams, the dreams that are like the biggest dreams you've ever had, fueling the energy of that. And so you're going to get an entire mapped out system for how to basically manifest anything you want. And I mean the deep dive into all the fucking blocks, everything that's holding you back from what you desire, everything that's making you think you want things when you really don't want them, like really, really getting down to the core of what you desire, and having homework, tools to be able to take with you so you know exactly what to do next time you find something new that you want to desire, or that you want to bring into your life and manifest, because there's always new things as life goes on. We're always expanding, right? We want a new thing and then we realize, oh shit, I have all these blocks to it I didn't even realize I had because I never wanted it before. Hold on, we got some comments up here. Meeting on a heart space, feeling into enchantment, loving beyond attachment, ooh, involved with passion, sharing meaning and life's dance. Beautiful. It's a beautiful place for romance. It's a spiritual picture I picked years ago. Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay, so just so you guys know, if you are interested, this whole conversation that I just started to say, that I just told you about, everything, all the stories, right? If it started to kind of like bring something up in you, because here's the thing, if you're not feeling good in your life, it's because your soul is pulling you elsewhere. If you feel deeply depressed or deeply sad or deeply lost, it's because that pain is your soul tugging your heart in another direction, right? If you feel elated, if you feel amazing, that also is your soul calling you. Or if you've had fleeting moments of elation, that was your soul. If you ever experienced the closest bit of heaven on earth, That was your fucking soul. So what I'm here to tell you is now I know for sure that every single fucking one of you has a soul version of you, the human you, not just your soul, we're all one, infinite, all of that stuff. Not just that, but that your soul wants and is living in this flesh, a version of you that is your truth. It is the part of you that it's the soul mission for you. It's what your soul wants to be doing. It's what your soul already is doing. If you don't feel right now like that is the life that you are living, if you don't know for fucking sure that in your heart of hearts, right now in your life, you are living that fucking version of yourself, your soul version, or at least on the path to it, knowing that, you know what, maybe I'm not right there. And I'm not talking about your destination. I'm not talking about the biggest dreams you've ever had. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm telling you right here, right now, there is a path to those big, huge dreams, right? And there is a soul version of you living in the expression of who you really are on the path to all the dreams you've ever had. If you don't feel insanely sure that you are living on that path, this group coaching might be for you. I mean, it absolutely would be for you, but if you feel called to it, it absolutely is for you, right? So today is the last day to sign up for the group coaching if it's something that you feel called to do. If you're like, I know my soul is whispering something to me, and I know that Darienne is going to say what I need her to say in the way I need her to say it in order to get me on that fucking path. Trust me, I'm telling you guys, I will get you on that fucking path. If there's anything I know how to do, it's to get you on the fucking path that your soul is calling you to be on right the fuck now. I could cry, okay? If you feel called to that, tonight at 11:11 Eastern Time is the last time that you have to sign up for this group coaching right now, okay? You're awesome, Jimmy. Thank you. Yes, Mrs. D, always on the issue universe source, yeah. So there is a link in the description of both of these. It's just DarienneEmpire.com/group coaching. If you want to go learn a little bit more about it. I actually didn't put too much on that. I just told you everything about it here. But also, how much is that, D? So it's $777 for 6 weeks. There are payment plans. So you can break it down to weekly. It's like $137 a week or two something bi-weekly. I don't know exactly what it is. Just go to the thing and figure it out. So it's going to be a group in the Facebook group. We'll be doing Facebook Lives just like this. I'm going to be teaching you the homework. I'm going to be talking. I'm going to be diving deeper into manifesting than you will have ever heard me talk about. Because I can't possibly go as deep into it on YouTube for 15, 20-minute videos. So I have not talked as deeply about this. So I will be going deeply into it. Just so you know, my regular coaching package, 6-week coaching package is $2,220. That's how much my private clients pay to get the exact same material that you guys will be getting. Exact same, but you'll be getting it for 65% less. Okay? So it's kind of a big deal. I'm probably going to turn it into a course later, but I'm just going to be doing it as group coaching for now, where I'm just going to be like recording all the videos, and then later on I'm just going to sell the videos as a course. Miss D is a beast. Thank you. That was awesome tonight. You're so welcome, Candace. Thank you so much for being with me. And so if that's something that you feel called to, if you have any further questions, of course, do not hesitate to message me either on Facebook. It's Darienne Empire on Facebook for those of you that are on YouTube, or you can go to my website, DarienneEmpire.com, and just hit the contact page, and that will email me. If you have any questions at all, I am always open, of course, to answer any of your questions. You're going to manifest 777. Yes! I love it. That's what I should have done. I should have just came in here and been like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to manifest this course. Because here's the thing. You don't even need, okay, I'm going to tell you right now. If you guys have blocks to money, which I grew up in the hood, so I have fucking blocks to money that sometimes I don't even know I'm aware of them. I got to really check myself a lot when it comes to the money blocks. Thank you, Darienne. You're always an inspiration. You're a bright light. Thank you, guys. So here's how to manifest the group coaching. If you're like, yeah, I totally want this, but how the fuck is it going to happen, right? Been there, okay? When I did Spirit Junkie Masterclass, I was like, it was $1,800, and I was like, okay, I don't know how we're going to do this.
I want banana.
You want a banana? Meadow just came in. Do you want to come say hi? Oh, no, you have no clothes on. Never mind.
I want banana.
You want a banana? Go downstairs and get one. She's downstairs. She was downstairs with my mom. Oh, pajamas. Oh. All right. I'm just going to be a minute. She wants pajamas. Pajamas. Okay. So here's, if you guys have blocks to money, the best way to manifest something like this is I want you to envision yourself. Here's a really good thing. This is probably one of the first things that we'll be doing it's like a version of one of the first things we'll be doing it starts on Monday, by the way, in the group coaching, okay? I want you to, and see if you can do this for the next, like, whatever, 30 minutes, like once I get off with you, right? See if you can close your eyes, get into a meditation. Imagine yourself on the other side of the 6 weeks, right? So it's now July 16th, I think is the last day. Or you know what? Let's even say it's like August 1st. You just had the most amazing, fucking transformative experience of your life. You now have this, you had this mentor program, you had a mentor helping you, actually spending time on you to help transform all of your fucked up beliefs, right? You're now a whole new person. You're looking at the world so differently. You feel like there's so many opportunities to do so many things that you desire to do. You feel so much more in alignment. You are happy. I mean happy, like you wake up happy. Not just like you had a couple moments of feeling excited. Like you know what to do, exactly what to do to just wake up feeling good. You feel a sense of absolute gratitude and your dreams are starting to manifest. You're starting to